Right. Once again, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. Um, the topic that Chidima has given me is loaded. Smart hiring and strategic structuring, building agribusiness teams for growth and is a mouthful. I will just do my best, to provide as much insights that I have. Very quickly, from what the host has already provided, I'm an agro entrepreneur. I have a business in agriculture and I do a lot of consulting work as well in the space. I also provide support to businesses, especially in the agricultural space, so that they can do well, they can succeed, and everybody can just see that agriculture is also a very a good place to do business. I think that's the way I want to put it. I'm also an SIYB certified trainer. It's an ILO tool for the training of entrepreneurs. So that means I'm a trainer. And then also I can train cooperatives. There's another ILO tool that I have certification to train, which is to train cooperative societies. And then also certified lead auditor of the International Standards Organization and so many other organizations that I do volunteer work for. Because at my age, I think my fulfillment is to see that people are doing well, and it's what I love to do, and it's what I'm doing till now. So in breaking down the topic that Chidima gave me, I decided to make it three subtopics. I'll talk about smart hiring. I'll also talk about strategic business structuring, and then we'll tie it to how, it connects to business growth and impact. For those of us in the agribusiness space, you will agree with me that a lot of the time when we are talking about agriculture, we are always talking about the farm. Everything about agriculture seems to point to the farm. And we are working so hard to ensure that, look, agriculture is not all about farming. There's a whole lot happening in that space. Farming is just for me, farming is less than 1% of what happens in that space. It's because we haven't tapped into it. So this area of HR for agric, I love the uniqueness of it. And we will see as we go on in our discussion tonight why HR in agriculture is definitely unique. So when we talk about smart hiring, what do we mean by smart hiring? It has to do with looking at hiring in a strategic manner, looking at it with, a critical lens so that you will be able to find and select the kind of employees that are the kind of teams that suit your business. It's not just the way we are doing it now, especially small businesses. Agriculture is even worse. We hire on impulse. We hire, like no strategy, no rhyme or rhythm. Oh, we need somebody to do this. Okay, hey, Shola can do it. There's a way we say it in HR. Shola Leshi. That means that there's no aptitude in selection. So that's why we go hiring our relations, hiring, we don't have any standards. So we don't pay attention to our recruitment needs for our business. But when you are talking about smart hiring, it means you will pay attention. You will pay attention to those principles that will make you select the best for your organization. The best does not mean the most expensive. It just means what your organization has said it needs and being able to get the best of what it needs. So let's not get it confused that the best means the most expensive. No, the best means what your organization needs. That means you have articulated it and you are looking for it. And when you see the person, you know that this is the kind of person that you are looking for. So that is what smart hiring is all about. So it involves nowadays the use of technology. Formerly, I grew up into having to use a Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday Guardian. Tuesday Guardian was recruitment newspaper. You will find all kinds of vacancies there. So if you are looking for a job and you are smart enough at the time, you're going to invest in Tuesday Guardian so that you can sit down, circle all the ones that interest you, and then you start writing application letters and sending them your CV by post. So that was what we used to do then. But recruitment has evolved. We're now using a lot of technology, especially when email came. You don't have to do post office anymore, sending your CV. You simply send it by email. Now, organizations are having portals on their websites for hiring. So they can call it talent, they can call it human assets, they can call it, whatever fine terms they put there. But what it means is that if you want to work with us, they will publish vacancies there and you can apply. You just send your CV, with one click and everything, is received online real time. So now smart hiring involves the use of technology, and it has improved the recruitment process. It has made it more efficient. It has made it more accurate. For instance, when I say I have found the best fits for my organization, I can actually use technology for that selection. So now we use technology because pouring over thousands of CVs is a lot of work. I had to exit recruitment at some point because it was a lot of work. You will pour through 2,000 CVs and you probably will get like 2 or 3 that fits what you want, the position you want to recruit for. So it was so tedious. Recruitment has solved all of that. I simply put certain information from your CV, especially those ones that already send you a link for you to fill for put your information for recruitment. They just pass it through some analytical tool, and it will tell them what they are looking for. So what will take you weeks and months to put together takes you just a matter of hours. So technology has been very, very good, to simplify and improve the recruitment process. So smart hiring using technology to make it simple, and then smart hiring focuses on that efficiency and accuracy, a lot of which technology brings to the table. It also looks out, smart hiring also looks out for the aptitude, attitude, and experience of the candidates. A lot of the time, we are just looking at age. Oh, somebody should not be more than so age. No, if you have already put that, the algorithm will recognize it. But will the algorithm recognize attitude? Will it recognize aptitude? Those are some of the things for which smart hiring delivers to the table. When you use the principles for smart hiring, you'll be able to pick that up so that you know that the person that you are hiring or the selection that you will hire from, they are the ones that fit what you're looking for. And then again, smart hiring does not just look at all these things I've mentioned earlier. It also wants to see whether this person you want to hire is for the long haul. You don't want to find yourself going through this process in a matter of months, a year later. Smart hiring will allow you to prepare for the person for retention. It will also allow for you to know if that person is a potential for retention. So smart hiring, is the way to go, especially for us in agribusiness. And then I want to share with you some of the tips that I have used, and then some of which I have learned from my colleagues who are still hiring for smart hiring. It's not a question of just waiting for the person that you are looking for to hire to come. No. The first step is for you to prepare for the hiring. You, the business owner, or the particular employee or team member whom you have designated to handle that job, that exercise. The first thing you need to do is to determine what you need. You don't just say, oh, I need somebody who can be a farm manager. Doing what? What kind of person? What should he know? Who should he be? All those things, you have to articulate them. You have to articulate the needs of the position. You look at the needs of your business. You add that too, and all what you need for the person's for that position. You have to articulate it. And then you have to also be able to put in place how you are going to recruit for that position. Are you going to use manual? Are you going to use technology? You have to determine it. So when you put in, who is going to be the one to do that recruitment? Who are all the other team members that will be involved? Are you going to have a committee? Large organizations, they have a group, that recruits. It's not just one person. One person might coordinate it, but a whole lot of people are involved until the final decision is taken. So you have to put all that in place. And it is you, the business owner. You are the one that wants to recruit somebody for your business. So you have to be very much involved in this process. The second step is, where are you going to start shopping? Sometimes we shop in our backyards, our relations, our friends. We drop word of mouth. That's what we do. Smart hiring goes beyond that. Fine, you can shop at the back of your house. You can shop, with among your friends, drop word of mouth with them for them to recommend people to you. But smart hiring says the person has to fit what you have provided, the position, what you have provided for the position, the person has to. But look at what is happening these days. There's social media. So you can put your recruitment on the platforms of social media, and you'll be surprised. There are a lot of hiring portals all over the social media. A lot of people are getting jobs from the social media, from LinkedIn, from Twitter, from Facebook, and all the rest of them. So people are being recruited in all of those platforms, and they have hiring, portals. So you can take advantage. Every day, LinkedIn is asking me, do you want to hire today? And I keep clicking, no, 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 not yet, this and that. But that's to show you, what if I had? I will quickly say yes, and I'll put the information that will be required. So one of it is the social media. The second is what we call the talent platforms, like FarmCAS. When they are industry-specific talent platforms, is always good. For us in agriculture, a platform like FarmCAS, and it's not because I'm praising Chidima, it's because I know that is what she's doing. She will understand what you want. If you say you want an agronomist, she already has an idea what an agronomist should do. So when she looks at that, your write-up, that your articulation of the position, she can see if there are any gaps. She can advise you. She can take you through the process. She understands what you're looking for. If you're looking for someone who has some technical skills, like installing irrigation systems, like, some of the other technical skills that may be required, she knows what to look for. That's one. Number two, she is probably onboarding some of them right there in her location. She's probably working with some of them. We saw a video telling us about testimonial of someone who is interning with her. So she already has them, people she's trained, provided opportunities for practical experience. So when she sees what you have asked for and she's able to walk you through the process, you know that she's probably going to deliver for you your best fit. And guess what? You don't have to take out time like you would do poring over several CVs. She has virtually done 80% of the job. So that is why we would, patronize platforms like that of Chidima, like FarmCAS. The third step is, what are you offering? Yes, you have said, this is what I want. The third step is also to be able to say, what am I offering? And don't jump to the fact that it's only salary. Salary is just a very minute part of what we are offering today. Today's potential workers or candidates for employment are looking for something better. They are looking beyond the peripheral. They want to experience a good place to work. One of the testimonials we had this evening said that through FarmCAS was connected to an employer where he's enjoying his job. He's working with a fantastic team. That's what they want. Part of it. Is that what your company is offering? Are you offering them a good place to work? Are you offering them a fantastic environment to work, or a hostile one, or a mentally depressing one? Are you offering them a happy place? Are you offering them opportunities? Some of them want to see opportunities. A lot of we're not talking about opportunities with Jakpa. They can do that on their own. But they want opportunities to learn, opportunities for exposure, opportunities. So do you have training as part of what you are offering? I just got to hear about an agribusiness organization that does exchange program. Me, I'm looking to see how I'm going to imbibe that one because I'm going to learn about it. Exchange program. What do they mean by that? They have a partnership relationship with some similar organizations. And what they do is 2 of my staff will come work in your place and 2 of yours will come work in mine. You may be thinking, oh, the risk. Is there anything that doesn't have risk? What if they choose not to come back? What if they find secrets, business secrets? You are tired of those lines. Don't be afraid of your own shadow. If it's an opportunity for learning, because the person can bring back some very good tips to improve what you're doing in your organization. And you too can teach the ones they send to you some good things to take back to the organization. We need to enrich the industry with knowledge and skills. Every other thing, forget it. So we need to. So offer competitive and attractive packages. Keep your business as the place to be, the right place to work. That's what people are looking for. And if you don't have it, you probably will not get the good ones. Of course, the salary is good. It's a good thing to consider because nowadays, a lot of agribusiness organizations, they may not be able to pay minimum wage, but organizations like FarmCAS can advise you how to manage your resources, your financial resources, and still get a good hand to work with you. So you need to look at that as well as step 3. Step 4, focus on the ones you can retain. Don't waste time on hiring people who may not stay with you for long. Look out to select those who you will be able to retain. And what do you need to retain them is what you also need to consider. So many times people get retained because you can engage them. They feel that they are being valued in your organization. They feel that there is still a lot they can do, a lot they can learn, a lot they can benefit from. If you don't show them that, big picture, you will lose them. So right from the point of recruitment and in identifying the ones you can retain, the people you can retain, it will be good for you to put in place what will be required to retain them, what will be required to engage them, to keep them occupied, to always excite them, and to always keep them looking for more. That's one of the things that we miss out. That's why I'm very happy that we are beginning to discuss HR in agriculture and agribusiness. We need to talk about it. We are losing a lot here. Then the 5th tip that I want to share with you for smart hiring is for you to develop a strong onboarding program. You know that recruitment ends when the person has resumed work. Recruitment does not end when you give the person an offer letter. Recruitment ends when the person has resumed work, has accepted, and is on board. How you receive that person on board is very important. If the person resumes for work and then everybody is just, looking at the person like, what are you looking for here? It's looking like a stranger. It's looking like, nobody has time. Everybody's busy here and he doesn't know, nobody's showing him left from right and nobody's receiving him. He's not looking welcomed. He's not feeling welcomed. You've lost that person from day one. So you have to develop an onboarding process that is very strong and encouraging. People need to feel welcomed. People need to feel, oh, thank God you're here. Oh, we are very happy to have you. Oh, there's a program. This is what you will do in the next 1 week. You will do this on today. You will do this tomorrow. We will give you this next tomorrow. All of that. You put the person on a program that by the time the person is done that program, the person understands a lot more about your business than you even told the person in the process of the recruitment. So the person is looking like learning more as the person commences work. Without that, people will not feel, that they are in the right place, and definitely you will not be hiring smart. The next one is strategic business structuring, which is the second subtopic I said we are going to discuss from the long topic that Chidima gave to me. When we are talking about business structuring, we are talking about the legal and the operational framework under which the business functions. There is a legal and there is an operational framework that a business functions. So the structure of a business influences a lot of things, chief of which are the ownership and the management. They influence many other things, but these are the real major ones: the ownership of the business and the management of the business. So a business structure helps us to address those. So when we look at the legal structure of a business, we are talking about the form of a business that includes things like registration, things like ownership, and all of that. So that is the legal one. And we're looking at how your business is registered. What is the form of the registration of your business? Is it a sole proprietorship? Is it a partnership? Is it a limited liability company? Is it a public liability company? Is it a cooperative society? Is it an NGO or NPO? And many others. So these different structures for us, registration of our businesses with a Corporate Affairs Commission, there are implications for each of them. And I can take you through another hour just talking about business structure. You will know the pros and the cons of each of them. But the chief thing you need to understand is that when you register your business becomes a legal entity. And in the registration of that your business, it provides you with opportunity to be able to state ownership at that point. So the legal structure of your business tells you about the validity of your business and the ownership of your business. So if your business is not registered, your business is illegal in Nigeria, and I think in many parts of the world. Then the second structure is the operational structure, which I call the organizational structure, which has to do with how the activities of a business, how they are organized, how they are directed, and how they are coordinated. All of this to be able to achieve the goals and objectives of the business. So you are talking about, major elements like organogram, which stipulates reporting lines. It shows you positions and also the reporting lines. The job description of each of your workers that tells exactly what each position, the role each position plays, and the tasks and responsibilities of the position. The departments and the teams, which are like divisional structures. People have department of this, department of that. People have management team, people have sales team, and all of that. So, and then you have the branches. There are some organizations that are multi-locational. So they have branches. They are still part of the structure of the organization. And then you have procedures and policies, sometimes put inside SOPs, standard operating procedures, and so on and so forth. These are some of the elements of the structure of organizations. And you can see from the two that I've read, both the legal structure and the organizational structure, these are elements that are very critical to the success, to the growth, to the impact that the business will make. Why is it important for a business to have structure? Because sometimes we just see this as unless the business is big, unless the business is doing, a particular activity. No, any commercial venture that you want to run in Nigeria is a business, and it's important for you to put structure in them. So the first one is that in some forms of business that you will register, those pros and cons that I was talking about that they have, some of them actually protect you from personal liability. What do I mean by that? There are some business structures that when the liability of the business, it's not your personal assets that are used to settle the liability of the business. So your personal assets are free from being used to uh, attend to the liabilities of the business, like debts, like lawsuits and all of that. They don't come for your personal assets. There are some of those forms of business that plus you, plus your personal assets, your business, you are the same thing. So if anything, if there's any liability of your business, it is your personal assets that will be used to settle it. So some of those forms of business protect you, from personal liability. Then also some of those forms of business provide you with better access to funding. There are some of those forms of business that will attract investors. Those forms of business that will actually be people who will give you funding. Funders will be interested in your business, including supplier relationships. So you have to look for the one that fits your business before you register it. And then when you register your business, when you put a structure in your business, whether the legal one or the organizational one, it enhances perception. People see your business differently. They take you serious compared to where none of that exists. So that is why people try to put structures in their business. And it also will make your business more efficient. Recall when I said in smart hiring that one of the things that smart hiring will deliver to you is the best fit for the position that you want to fill. So when you have a good structure, it will help you to see how you can run your business efficiently. There's proper delegation, there's proper organization, and proper coordination of things. Then the one that we lose sight of a lot of the time is succession planning. Many of us come into the business and we are not looking at how our personal exit plan. Your personal exit plan should be different from the company's exit plan. I recall one of my clients, and we're putting in place an exit plan, for them. And then we did the company's exit plan, and we did his own exit plan as the CEO. And it was like, is it not the same thing? Why is it different? And we explained it to him. He was seeing himself as a business when the form of business he registered considers him separate from the organization. We need to plan for the future of our business. Our business does not have to end with us. So if you have a future plan for your business, you have to also put in place a succession plan. It helps in many ways. I can talk about succession plan for 1 hour. It helps for us to look at it. When you put structure in your business, it will force you to think about succession planning. So how does smart hiring connect to the growth and impact of our business? It's important. How does structure connect to the growth and impact of our business? Let me start with smart hiring. When you have smart hiring, it means that you are going to increase productivity and efficiency in your business. And I tell you, when there's productivity in your business, when there's efficiency in your business will grow and it will make impact. When you observe smart hiring practices in your business, you will reduce the rate of turnover of your staff because they will enjoy working with you. So it's not today the person comes to work, 4 months later, the person has resigned. Sometimes they don't even resign, they just disappear. That one, bad manners. I can guarantee you that one is straight bad manners. But if they are not enjoying where they are working, if they do not feel valued in your business, they will leave. And you keep on recruiting and recruiting. And somebody was telling me one time, said, every time they will just leave and I will start looking for another person to replace them. Yes, find out why. You need to find out why. But when you observe smart hiring practices, that turnover will reduce. It will also enhance your reputation out there. People will see, when people talk about your business, your business, they'll talk about your business in good lights, and you will earn goodwill. That's one of the things that we don't seem to understand. That when our business brand is good in the public eye, people want to do business with us. It just takes one word from one or two people to reduce all the work you have done to nothing. And you don't want to find your business in that kind of situation where people don't want to work for you. And then somebody says, oh, let me go and try. You don't know that they have since destroyed your reputation out there, but somebody is desperate for a job. Let me go and try. And when the person comes, he is not completely loyal, to your business. And he's busy staying there and sending CVs everywhere. So when you observe smart hiring, you will discover that your business is going to attract goodwill, as well as saving you costs. Recruitment is expensive, and the way we are going about it in agribusiness and also some other small business areas is very expensive. Large companies don't recruit like this. So we need to think deeply about the way we are doing things and embrace smart hiring to help us. The money that we don't even have, look at the way we are, fritting it away. So we need to embrace smart hiring so that our company can grow. Instead of us to spend more than we should, we actually retain a lot more money and all the other benefits that I have spoken about. What about strategic structuring? What does it deliver to our business growth and impact? It will help you to be able to allocate resources better because you have a very clear picture, of your business, the goals and objectives of your business, well articulated, the way you are hiring, what people are supposed to do, and how you are going to go about it. So it makes you to make less mistakes. And less mistakes means you will spend less money. So you'll be able to allocate your time, you'll be able to allocate funding, you'll be able to allocate, talents in the right places. That's what strategic structuring does for your business. Second thing it does is, just like I said earlier, it will be able to clarify the different roles and responsibilities of your team members. Everybody knows what they are supposed to do. Nobody's confused because it has been properly articulated, shared, they've been engaged on it, and they have been properly directed and supervised when it comes to it. So you don't have any confusion among your team. It also helps to bring out creativity and innovation and accountability. So it will stifle, the ideas that your team members want to bring to the table. They will continually be looking at what you have asked them to do and suggest ways to do better. They will always be recommending ways to do better. And then people will be held accountable for what they are expected to deliver. It's very clear. Unlike the one that is in our head. I intervened in a particular case with a client who has a shop, and complaint was that her shop girl, that when she's not doing anything, she just sits down there. Customers are complaining. I said, okay, let me go and visit one time and do mystery shopper and see whether that is what happened. That was exactly what happened. I walked into the shop. She was sitting on one high stool at the reception, and she just greeted me, and I went around and on. She was just looking at me, and I came back to her and said, oh, sorry, I need your help for you to show me this. And we went to where the product was. I did as if I wanted to buy. And she said, oh, let me go and call madam. I don't know what the price is. I knew where the problem was coming from. So when I now asked, small auntie, I'm told that you don't respond to customers. You don't, you just sit down on your, and me, I've seen it now. And you know what she told me? She said that was what her madam asked her to do. That when she was recruiting her, the madam told her that I just want you to sit in the shop. I just wanted to sit in the shop is not a job that you are going to pay for 22, 23 days in a month. You better think very well as an entrepreneur. So people should be held accountable for what you have said that they should do, not for what you think they should do. Strategic structuring also enables your business to grow in the sense that there is better communication and collaboration among your teams. A lot of the time, businesses suffer when there is infighting, when there is confusion. That's where you see, the gossip mills, the rumor mills are very hot. In fact, there is more work happening there than inside your business. So when you have strategic structuring elements inside your business, you will discover that communication is more effective. There is somebody sending communication, the recipient of the communication, the action that is taken after that communication, you can see it. It flows. And then people working together among your team members helps for the work to make sense. So your business has no other recourse but to grow and to be able to make the impact that you have built in just by imbibing structuring. In conclusion, I want to let you know that the twin elements of smart hiring and business structuring are very crucial for any company that wants to grow and to scale. Any company that wants to make influence, any company that wants to make impact. Structure your business properly, engage in smart hiring principles, and you will get there. Those are some of the things that we overlook, but they become very critical when we want to see our business expand, when we even want to see how we can do things better. And then we also reduce, the length of time it takes for us to be able to achieve what we want to achieve. So it pays us. It's actually for our own good and for the good of our business, for us to ensure that our businesses are properly structured and you can get advice. People like me, when I started my business, it would have paid me better for me to register it as a business name. I didn't know. Nobody advised me. So I registered it as a business, as a limited liability company, and I was running like headless chicken. Before you know what is happening, the end of the month has come. They are looking, all manner of regulatory compliance is waiting for you. It was a drain, and I'm trying to learn the business. I'm trying to grow the business. Oh, it was too much. And I can't afford to hire an expert to handle that part. But when I called myself to order and had a business name, I felt I could feel the relief. Even though the risks were there, but I understood it better. I understood what I wanted to do. I understood, where my risks were and how I was going to mitigate them. And then by the time I came back to a limited liability company, I was ready. I was so ready. So you can ask. Some of us have already registered our businesses. Why? Because people say, oh, register your business, register your business, register your business. Of course, it's good to register your business, but it's good to understand the form of business that you are registering. Is it suitable for you? You have to know. Is it the ideal form of business for what you want to do? Those are some of the considerations. And then when we want to onboard our teams, when we want to hire people that are going to work with us, it's better for us to hire smart. Thank you very much for listening. I will stay behind and wait for your questions. Thank you very much. Back to you, host.
Thank you very much, man. That was an amazing session. A lot of people have been giving their comments. Please, even okay. I was just going to say we should applaud our facilitator with our virtual applause, and I think a lot of people are doing that already. Thank you very much, and thank you for being spot on with time, ma'am. I sincerely appreciate it. Anyways, I didn't expect any less. For those of us that have known you before now, thank you very much again. So
I promised Chidima, so I need to stick to it.
thank you very much, ma'am. For those of us that have questions, please, you can drop them in the chat box. We have some already, ma'am. So I will just be going them one after the other. Can you still spare under 15 minutes, ma'am? Is that fine?
Yes, of course, I can.
Okay,
I'm
great.
also looking through the chat box for those questions.
I will go right for you, ma'am. So
All right.
Okay. Okay, some of these are just encouraging comments. Okay. For the person seeking employment for business administrative graduate, if you have experience in agriculture, please visit FarmCAS Career Hub and see the job listing there and you can apply if you qualify. The person asking for slide, we will get it from our facilitator and we'll share it as well as the recording as well. Please expect it since you register for the class. Now, the first question here, ma'am, the person says, how do you apply smart hiring to farm hands that you can't even communicate with? Because the majority of them don't speak English. They have become very difficult to manage these days because they are more interested in money. They put in less than you expect. That's the question,
Yes,
ma'am.
of course. It's a very pertinent question because that is what we do. What is happening to us in agriculture space is that we hire what we see. We
Hmm.
hire what is available, not necessarily what is needed. So we can't apply smart hiring to people you cannot communicate with, except you're going to find a way to communicate with them.
Hmm.
So, for instance, I recall in one of our farms when we used to have workers from Cotonou, they speak French. I don't speak French. So what we did was to find ourselves teaching them Pidgin English. Some of them could, they had already started learning Pidgin English from other places that they had worked before. So they were able, so we communication with them was Pidgin English. And then again, you have to understand that communication is very key. When you cannot communicate with somebody, that relationship is going to be very difficult. So they are not difficult to manage because they are individually difficult. As you know, they are difficult because the communication is difficult. So if we don't get communication right, we cannot get management right. So it's either you have a farm manager that can communicate in the language they understand so that the person can actually break it down to them how you want them to work and the things you want them to achieve, or you go hire people that you can communicate with. If not, that problem cannot be solved that easily. Then when you say they are more interested in money, wetin bring them come market? That's why they are there. Oh, yes, I tell you, that's why they are there. Until you show them what else they can gain. Until you show them what else they can gain. I tell you, some of our farm workers, they had not worked in greenhouse before. The other farms they'd worked, they were, open field, weeding, planting, all of that harvesting. But when they came to greenhouse, we did not only expose them to greenhouse farm management, they could also see that work was less tedious and more interesting. We put them through training, and I'm talking about formal training. We put them through formal training. We put them through, a lot of exposure. We kept checking, we kept, coming back to check their learning and ensuring that we were on the same page and they were enjoying what they were doing. They were not, money was there because, they were being paid. That one was not a problem. But they could see beyond, the things you were asking them to do. So as a business owner, you need to put yourself in their shoes. If you were in their shoes, working the way they are working, would you do that work? It's very important. Nowadays, people already see farming as tedious. So they think they are doing you a favor until you position yourself to say, look, actually, I have a lot that you can benefit from. And you will discover that their attitude will, join your own. That's why I said you recruit not just work experience, not just age and the discipline of graduation. You also hire for attitude. At the point that you recruited them, did their attitude fit with what your business was looking for? That is what you need to do.
All right, ma'am. Thank you for that spot on answer to that question. So the next one here says, for a smallholder farmer and a startup, how do I adopt smart hiring for my farming business? Areas of need include support staff, labor, and sales team.
Okay, just so I can go back again to what I'm saying, you use the tips I sent to you. For one, have you prepared the job description for sales team? That sales team that you want to hire, have you prepared their job description? It's important because if you haven't prepared their job description, then you are not ready for smart hiring. You are not ready for smart hiring. So you have to prepare the job description for the positions, whether as the support staff or the sales team, even if it is labor, you must prepare job description for what you call labor. There's labor for you may mean a different thing from mine. So you cannot just generalize it. Oh, I want them to just be helping the farm manager. No. What kind of help? Break it down. We should stop generalizing things. You have to break it down. And then where are you going to get them? For instance, this labor, are you going to use agents? There are so many agents all over the place hiring for farm businesses. The same ones I used to hire for house helps, domestic staff, drivers and maids and nannies and all of that. The same hand they are using to hire labor for your farm. That is why it's good to go to those who know. They say follow who know road. I can go to any of those talent, agriculture focused talent platforms and hand over my brief to them. They understand my territory. So they won't go and get me, the person that is supposed to be a nanny somewhere, to come and be a labor in my farm. So all those 5 tips, and when I will send this presentation to FarmCAS to share with you, so you'll probably need to provide them with your email so that they can send it to you, so that you can follow the tips. It's very important for me that you learn how to do this, and they are not difficult. They are not meant for big businesses. They are meant for every business. You follow those 5 tips, you will get your smart hiring right.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And to simply just quickly chip into that, we can also take the headache off you by just contracting your hiring process to FarmCAS, and you can go to bed. Okay, ma'am. I will combine 2 questions. The first one says, what legal registration is best for an agripreneur just starting a farm business? Then the second one says, what do you think about the huge pay difference in agric and other sectors? Is that the reason there is high turnover?
Okay, let me take the first one. Very good question. But you are the one that will answer it, because if I was speaking with you one-on-one, there are many questions I will ask you. One size does not fit all. A starting agripreneur, I mean an agripreneur starting a farm business, there are two of them are looking at 2 different things. 2 of them are running 2 different journeys. So I cannot say that this one is the best for the one that is starting until I know your status at the point of starting. Because sometimes you may be starting and needing heavy funding. Oh, yes. So I will not give you the same advice as I would give someone who is starting, with lesser needs, or different needs, not lesser, but different needs. So it depends on the needs for your business, but they are there. All you need to do is find out, and like I think I will try. Maybe I will send that document I have on forms of business showing the advantages and disadvantages. I can send it to FarmCAS to share with you, so you can look at it. It has to do with your needs. It's not a one size fits all. But what I needed at the time, because I didn't need funding, I had funding for the business I wanted to start. I actually did. So I didn't need funding. I didn't need partnerships at that time. I didn't need collaboration. There were so many things for which a particular form of business would have been, more suitable for me than the one I chose. So when I went to limited liability, I was actually putting myself into trouble. So in stepping back into business name, I was able to understand. I mean, I got the suitable form for my business at the time. And I now, promoted the business back to limited liability when I was now ready. So I don't know what the needs of your business are, so I cannot really say. But I think when you get this documents on forms of businesses and then the advantages and disadvantages, it will give you a better idea about which form is suitable for you. So I think you should be one of those who will send your email to FarmCAS so they can share it with you. The second question, what do you think about the huge pay difference in agri and other sectors? Is that the reason there's high turnover? Yes. Many agro businesses cannot pay minimum wage of 70,000 naira. They cannot. Many of them, they cannot, compared to other sectors because of our gestation period. If you go and plant cassava, for instance, you are not going to make any sales of that cassava until 9 months to 1 year. So is that how you are going to wait until 9 months to 1 year for your workers before you pay them? No. Meaning that you are going to probably allocate funds separately to be paying them for 12 months before you are able to make sales. I don't know any other business that is like that. Even oil and gas, but it's not like that. Except the refinery that Dangote is building. So, but those are high stakes. High stakes. So that is why there is really, apart from the fact that we are not even doing smart hiring. So that is one of the reasons for the high turnover, because we cannot compete. But what I always tell my colleagues is that if we cannot compete with a deep pocket, there are so many other ways we can compete. I know a lot of my colleagues these days, increasing, and it's increasing, where their staff are part of their marketing strategy, part of their distribution, part of their sales. Do you know what that means? I work to get a salary, and I'm also being a beneficiary of the sales proceeds of that business. So you're almost like part owner. So you have a stake. That business must not collapse. So let's look for the ways for which we can cover for that area that we are weak in right now. We have to, whether you like it or not. Money is very important. It's what they need to use to pay their bills. So if we cannot compete with the other deep pockets, let's find ways that we can do it.
Thank you very much, ma'am. The next question says, okay, does FarmCAS recruit for such? I will quickly answer that. Yes, regardless of whatever it is you need, all you have to do is just approach us, state what you need, and we will definitely put a call out to get you things you need. To the question that says, how do you apply smart iron to fish farming? I want to spare our sector by saying that we'll make the slide available to you, like she has said, because I want us to take as much question as possible. So the
Yeah.
next question says, ma'am, can you share a real world example on agricultural organization that successfully implemented a smart tiling system?
Yes, I have two clients that it has worked very well for them. And that was because we took the pains, to put it not only as a process that I used for hiring for them, but it became a process that we put in place as a policy and a HR procedure in their company. So they've been able to all the 5 steps I gave you are the 5 steps that I have observed, and the 5 steps that I've also gotten my clients to observe, because I had to exit recruitment at a point because it was very stressful. So now they can do that, very efficiently. So it has worked. It has worked. It has worked for them. But then again, don't forget that these are organizations that are growth oriented. They already had growth as part of their achievement goals. So putting such things in place has helped them to be able to recruit the right fit for their business. So I wouldn't give you names of those organizations. I don't have the permission to mention them, but I can tell you that you will be one of the testimonials if you follow those 5 steps.
Indeed, thank you, ma'am. The next question says, how can you ensure synergy among departments in a farm as a team rather than compete with each other?
Make them feel comfortable working together. Remove favoritism. A
Hmm.
lot of the time, especially when you have family members and people that you know, from way back. They will contaminate the place. You don't know what they are telling, they are using to frighten their colleagues. Oh, I'm very close to CEO. I'm very close to the owner of the business. So when they do that, they are intimidating their colleagues. You have to stop such behavior. And then also, I don't know how to put it the way I want to put it without really sounding angry. There are some business owners that love gossip. They encourage backbiting. So when they come and tell you tales, you react to the tales. You don't have the emotional intelligence, to be able to discern what is going on. What is the agenda of this character that is coming to be telling you tales? So what your team see is the way you react when this particular person comes telling you things, and especially when it is false. There's no way you can have a coherent team like that. There's no way. So first and foremost, let us be focused on the job. And then you practice emotional intelligence. If people do well, commend them. If people don't do well, correct them. And it has to go across board. Treat people well. Treat people, in an objective manner. When people see that there's fair play, there's fairness. When people see that there's fairness in the workplace, it will be a healthy workplace for them. So how do you ensure synergy? Just do the right thing. That's the only way I can say it. Just do the right thing. Stop doing divide and rule, locking heads of people who are supposed to work with you for the benefit of your business. You are sabotaging your business. And that is what we need to ward against. I don't mind having family members in my business. I don't mind. Now I'm ready for them because I know what I will do and they know where I stand. They have to know you that well. So you have to enthrone fairness in the workplace. And then you will discover that you won't find people competing. Instead, they will be complementing, because if it's good for one, it will be good for all. And make it look like that when it is good for one, it is good for all. When your sales team do a good job, is it not the entire company that is going to benefit from the increased revenue? You have to make your workers feel valuable across board, and they will be complementing each other instead of competing against one another.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Sesu, you said you're looking for recommendation for job. Please proceed to FarmCAS Career Hub and make your search. If you find anyone interesting to you, please send your application and we'll look into it. Yes, there will be access. We'll share the audio clips and we're going to share the video and the slide to everyone so that you can always go back to it and see if there's anything you want to learn. And of course, across the social media pages of FarmCAS on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, starting from next week, we are going to be sharing nuggets from this session, just 30 to 1 minute videos to remind you of what our facilitator said. So you can expect that. So please follow us across our social media pages for you to get that. Okay, ma'am, this question says, I'm a big fan of building capacity of my team. For example, send them for greenhouse training during off season. My concern has always been what happens if they leave after such investment?
Okay, my question would be, what if they don't leave when you don't train them? What if they don't leave? And you are keeping a whole bunch of ignorant and incompetent people in your business? That's self-sabotage. Don't be afraid that they leave. Two things. Train them, not because of you, but because of them. Train them. Train them, and whatever time they spend with you, they will still deliver on what they have learned. Train them so that when they go out there and they work for another person, the person will say, wow, when they were in that place, they really learned very well. So I don't train my staff because I want them to stay with me. No, this is a free world. They didn't come forced to work with me, and they won't be forced to stay. But I want them to live better than they came. I want them to live, more knowledgeable, more skilled, more exposed than when they came. If that's the only thing I would do for them, I don't mind. It is a very big pill to swallow, especially for us in the agribusiness space. Because when somebody leaves, it's a serious dislocation to your business. But then what can you do? So if you don't train them and they don't do the right thing in your business, you yourself, you cannot rest. You will be doubling up on the gaps that will grow wider and wider. So don't worry, train them. They will deliver on their learning, and when they leave you, at least you have helped them, a step further in their lives. If that is the only consolation, so be it.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. I will take just two more questions. I have gone through the questions we have, so I'll just take two more, which are ones we've not touched because of our time. And so the one I'm seeing here, hope our professional fee is not too fat. No, it is not too fat. Please, it is not too fat. So you can please just reach out and we are here firstly to help SMEs, especially in the agri space. So no. We don't charge too much. You can please reach out for more details. So, ma'am, the first of the two questions I'm going to take finally, first says, what are the challenges we are likely to face when transitioning to a smart hiring model, and how can we overcome them?
Very good question. Um, Challenges are what we make of it.
Hmm.
But I try to weigh the options. The first one will take some learning from you because adaptation is not very easy for human beings. Imagine if you were hiring anyhow before. Now you are going to hire in a very, strategic manner, in a very smart manner. It takes some acclimatization. So it is how fast you are able to acclimatize that you know whether you have a challenge in your hands or not. So a lot of us are not technology savvy. In fact, many of us are technology averse, and I'm not talking about people my age. I have seen a 30-year-old young guy, fantastic product, and very poor marketing. And I'm like, guy, are you on social media? Yes, ma. I said, where in social media? I said, yeah, he's on Facebook, he's on Instagram. I said, do you write about this, your product? He said, no. I said, what are you doing there? What are you doing on Instagram? You are taking your birthday pictures and pictures of you in one wedding and some other ones. What are you doing there? And you are not talking about your product. And you are 30 years old. That is what is happening. So the challenges is what you make of it. But you have to be digital savvy. So it might be a challenge, but it's something you have to do. What do you do to overcome? Go and learn. Be humble. Learn. Go to the internet. There are so many training courses on digital business. There are so many training courses on content creation, content management, all of those things. It will help you as well as helping you to hire smart. So if you're afraid of the internet, then you're not ready for smart hiring. Some other challenges may also be your articulation of some of those tips that I gave, the 5 tips that I gave. How consistent are you going to be? It could be a challenge if you're not ready. If it could be a challenge if you're not an organized person. So you have to be organized. Also, it could cost you a bit. For instance, if you um, get your brief to FarmCAS to hire for you, you will pay a fee. But look at it this way, the time you are going to spend hiring on your own and you're not even sure of what the outcome will be is even more costly. So for me, those are the two things that we need to overcome. Are we ready to change? Are we ready to adapt to the new situation of hiring? It has changed. Hiring has changed. So are we ready, to hire right? It's a decision we have to take. Secondly, are we ready to be internet savvy? We can train ourselves. We can attend to do courses, online and learn from people. Call one young person, say, please come and show me things. Be humble. Learning comes with humility so that you will know what to do and then you'll be able to hire smart.
Thank you very much, ma'am. The final question is that somebody is asking if you offer professional service to small scale businesses and if you'll be kind to share your contact, maybe email for the very least.
Okay, that's if I okay,
Yes.
yes, I do consult, but my bill is very high.
Part compared to FarmCAS.
No, I do not hire. No, I don't hire. FarmCAS hires, I don't hire. No, I don't. In fact, if you give me a hiring brief, I will pass it to FarmCAS.
Thank
And
you,
then
ma'am.
me and FarmCAS will work together to deliver to you. And my clients, if they are on this call, they will be listening. That's what I will do. Because me, I will not hire. It's very stressful. But if I work with an organization like FarmCAS, I will deliver to you your best fit. Why? Because I'm the one that holds your brief. I'm the one that understands what your organization needs, the kind of positions you want to fill, and the kind of people you want to fill it with. And then working with FarmCAS is for FarmCAS to do the field work. We work together. FarmCAS hands over, the best that they have for me, and I look at it to fit you, and I hand over to you. Your work is 90% done. All you need to do is give me your brief. But I do not hire for whether big corporates or SMEs. No, I don't hire. But I do consulting. Consulting is more than hiring. I do a lot of consulting work because for me, consulting is to ensure that you have the kind of advice that you will use and you will need for your business to grow and succeed. So for me, my professional service is not hiring. My professional service is to be able to work with you either as a startup or an existing business. You also want to reposition your business. You want to restructure your business. You have a new farm or you have an existing farm. You're having stuff there. And it's not just farms, whether it's a logistics company, as long as it is focused on agriculture, whether it's a processing company on agricultural products, just name it. I can see through your business where your eyes probably did not see and advise you for you to be able to do better. But then you will pay.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And that brings us to the end of the Q&A session. Ma'am, on behalf of all of us at FarmCast, I want to thank you for creating this time to be with us. I understand very perfectly from my engagement with you how busy you can be. And I also understand that if we are to monetize this time, I am very sure that we will not be able to pay for it. Thank you very much for sharing value today. To all of us on the call, please let us drop our appreciation. We can use our applause feature, or we can also just type it in the chat box. While we are doing that, I want to quickly show us how we can again navigate the FarmCast career hub, and most importantly, show us some of the latest job listings we have on that platform as I speak. If you go on FarmCast Career Hub right now, you will see from this, I'm accessing this from my laptop. So, but the domain name is careerhub.farmcast.com. I have also dropped it in the chat box. But if you come to the new job listing, you will see the latest jobs that we just even advertise. I will have one we have one greenhouse crop growth specialist in Anambra State. If you're in that axis, and please just go on FarmCast Career and check for it. If you fit into it, please apply. We're also currently looking for agronomists in. Okay, this has been filled. Let me just share, and that's a flyer that speaks to what we need specifically. Uh, so that you can just go there and then search for it if you fit into it perfectly. So we are also currently hiring for an agronomist in Port Harcourt. This is it. If you have somebody that fits into, please talk to them to apply. We're also currently hiring for agronomists in Owerri, Nimo State. These are the terms surrounding it. If you fit, kindly please check into career.farmcast and apply. There is one more. Yes. Also, greenhouse crop production specialist in Anambra State. So, and a lot of the jobs we advertise on FarmCast, we also ensure that the conditions are good. Like our facilitator said, just to ensure that uh, people don't get to leave as soon as they get on the call. So please visit career.farmcast.com to apply to any of these jobs. We'll be looking forward to your applications. And again, please, I'll also drop the link to our WhatsApp community. Please join there. We will be sharing the slide and the recording of this session on that spot so that you can also refer to it later. Thank you very much, everyone. With that, we've come to the